Hello Divination and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to download and install our free blog post template for Divi's Chess Club layout pack. This is the final result we're aiming to achieve. So without wasting a lot of time, let's dive in and let's get started. All right, so the first thing we need to do is to head over to this blog post, which I'll link to in the show notes below. Right, so once you get to this page, you want to download the template. So I'm going to click here on get it for free today, enter my email address, and then click on download. Next, you want to click on download the files. And as you can see, the file has downloaded here on my corner of my screen. So now I'm going to navigate to that file. So I'm going to click on show in Finder, and here it is. I'm going to double click on it. And here is the file. So all I have to do now is to go into this folder one more time. And this is the file that we're going to need to use to load our template. So I'm just going to drag this over here to the screen so that I can start working on my site. But before we do that, let's take a look and see what our blog template looks like. So right now, this is out of the box Divi. It doesn't have any templates on. It's just your standard post. Okay, so what we're trying to change here is this layout and make it look much better. Okay, so over here, this is my back end of my website. So I'm going to scroll all the way down to Divi. Next, you want to click on theme builder because this is where we're going to install our template. Okay, so the next step now is I'm just going to drag this back over here because this is the file that we need to install. Now, remember, this is a .json file. You need to make sure you unzip that folder because if you don't unzip it, things won't work out. Okay, so I'm going to click here on portability, click on import, and now I am going to import that file, which is this one right here. I'm just going to drag and drop it here like that. And then I'm going to import theme builder templates like that. There we go. So now my template has been applied to all the posts. Now, one more time, let's have a quick look here. So you can see this is the standard one. And now I am going to click on save changes. Now notice what happens when I refresh the page. So I'm going to refresh it. And here we go. So now you can see we have a totally different design. We have a beautiful design here on the top. And now you can see that this looks way different to what we had initially. We even have a button here to start reading, which takes you to this section where you can immediately start reading your blog post. And we also have this image here, which is placed in a beautiful way. And as I scroll further down, we also have this part of the site here, which shows our recent posts, our recent comments, archives, and so on. We also have an opt-in here, and we also have the comments box. So as you can see, this has totally transformed our blog post. So the next stage now is for me to show you how you can go in and customize this. So to customize this, the reason why you may want to do that is maybe the colors you're using do not match your site colors. So let's go in and let me show you. So I'm going to go into the builder now. So let's start with the top section here. So I'm going to go into my section settings, click on background. So this is the color that we have. So you can change this color to whatever color you want. So you can see here that it is quite easy to go in and change that background color. Now, you may have noticed this, but we also have an image tab here. And this is where we have this image. So you can go and just delete that if you don't like that design. And this is how we customize this. We also have that text that we can go in and customize as well. So let me show you how to do one of them. So I'm going to go into my settings here, and this is dynamic text. This will show our post comment count. But if you want to change the text itself, the colors and so on, you can just come over here and start adding your colors like that. If you want to increase the size, you can increase the link text size like that. Okay, so it's the same applies to the other two. Next, let's take a look here at this section here. So I'm going to click on my section settings, go to the background, and this is the main color that we have. Now, you can also play around with these colors here. So let's go into gradient. So for our gradient, I'm going to change my first color. So as you can see here, it flows really well. I can also change the colors like that. So you can see as I'm scrolling through these colors, this is how it's changing this main design right here. Okay, I'm going to close out of that. Next, we also have this image here. So this can be an image that you can change if you want to, or if you don't really need that image there, you can just delete it like that. But this is the chess club icon. Okay, I'm going to close out of that. Next, let's take a look here at the categories. So I'm going to click on this gear icon. And again, these categories here are all dynamic text. So if you want to customize this text, you can just come over here, click on this little paintbrush icon, and this is where you can change your link fonts to a different font altogether. So you can see here, I've changed this to Poppins. You can also change the colors like that. And this looks great. Okay, let's move on. Now we also have this dynamic title here. So this title will just take on the title of any blog post. So for example, here we have Hello World. So that is because the post that we have is called Hello World. So it'll just dynamically load the title of the page. Okay, so to customize this, just click on this paintbrush icon. It's going to take you to the font itself. So right now, we can change this to Work Sans. We can change this pretty much to any font we want. So, you know, I like Poppins. There we go. If you want to make it bigger, you can just come over here, make it bigger, increase the line height, and so on. Moving on, let's take a look here at this text as well. So this is our post excerpt. So we can also go into our design here and make some changes to our font. Same way, you can change the colors, change the size. Now let's take a look here at this blurb. Okay, so on this blurb here, it says start reading. You can change this text to whatever you want. And if you want to change the font, you can always come over here and change your title font. So that stands out a bit more. Now, if you want to change the colors, you can always come over here and change your colors. Okay, great. And in fact, yeah, let's go ahead and save that. Moving on, this is our image. So this is a dynamic image. I'll just leave this as it is. Moving on, we have our post content. Now, this is what displays our content on our site. So if I come over here to this blog post, this is this area right here. So if you want to customize the text, so this is where you can go straight to the paragraph text. And if you want to increase the size, you can just come over here, make it bigger. And if you want to add some line height, you can just do it over here. And let's say you want to change the color. You can change the color here, just like that. Okay, so as you can see, it is very easy to go in and customize this text. Now, we can also do the same here with these titles. So for example, this is heading 2. We can change this to whatever font we want, for example, Poppins, and we can also change the colors and so on. Okay, so moving on, let's take a look here and see how we can customize the email opt-in. Now, the email opt-in here is also very important because if you don't set it up correctly, it will not work. So let's go ahead and let's see how we can customize that. Now, if you can't get to the settings of the email opt-in, you can just use the layers. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go into this section. And I know here it is in the second column. So I'm going to go into my email opt-in. Okay, so now that I have the email opt-in open, the most important thing here is to make sure that your email opt-in is connected to an email service provider. So to check, you can just come over here and we have a provider list. So we have MailChimp, ConvertKit, Emma, and so on. We also have Fluent CRM here, which is great. So once you create your mailing list and also have chosen your service provider, you just want to make sure that you link it over here and then just click on add. Now, we also have what is known as a success action. So by default, it just says success when someone subscribes, but ideally you want to, redirect them to a specific page, which then has further instructions. So that is where you can come over here and change this to redirect to a URL, and then you can just paste your URL in there. So pretty much this is how you set up your email opt-in. Now, moving on, I'm just going to drag my layers over here. You can go in here and change your text. So this is just your basic text here. So let's go in and customize this by clicking on this paintbrush icon. So you can see here, this is set to heading 2. So you can change the font if you have a specific font on your site to that. You can also change the colors and so on. Okay, so moving on, we also have this area right here, and this is all our blog settings. So ideally, we want to have your upcoming blogs, or even your next, or even just a list of any blogs that you may want to show, and you can show them based on categories, and you can also specify the post count. So right now we have it to 3, so it will just show 3 over here. All right, so moving on, we also have this read more button. So this can redirect people to the blog page. So if you want to customize the button here, you can just go into design and you want to go to button. And this is where you can go in and start customizing it. So perhaps you may want to have a background color. You can just go in and add your background color just like that. And you can also change your font color. But the most important thing is to make sure you come over here to the link and link this button to the link to the blog post. Okay, so make sure you do that. All right, so basically that is how you go in and customize this template. The main reason why you may want to do this is because you may want to match the colors of your website to this template, or you want to use the specific fonts that you're using on your site and match them with this template. So there you have it. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and do follow us on our social media platforms. By doing so, you'll be notified every time we release new tutorials. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.